Welcome to new weekly market recap. Global stocks mostly up. Asian and European markets had modest gains, with US indices near record highs. Treasury yields were steady, while gold and silver are about to record highs.
Prosperity or volatility? Should it make a difference as long as the price is moving to the same direction? Let's see how that's looking on charts. All right, so looking at gold, as we stated earlier, it's nearby all-time highest. Well, because of this doji, we did anticipate a retracement in gold in the previous week. However, I had highlighted in our live trading webinar at the 16th of December that right at this price, it was good to invest for a short term. And I emphasized on that, even though a lot of people were saying, how could you analyze and predict markets to break all-time highs if it has not happened before? Which is ironic, because that's what gold does all the time. It breaks highs, the highest of all time, again and again. So just because of this candle here, we got our confirmation that gold is not looking for liquidity anymore, and it did get the breakout. So there was some pretty good entries here right after the breakout here, and also another entry out here to make the best out of gold. So currently gold is forming for us an ascending wedge or rising wedge. So from here we can expect a retracement minimally for this support. Optimally, if we get to this support, would be better. Don't think we'll get that unless something happens soon next week. And next week we're having the new year and every other place is, or every other big bank is off. So probably not to have that bearish momentum on gold by next week. So we can highlight this support as our optimal retracement length, and from here we can look for another long entry. Yeah, so that's about gold. Let's go into Nasdaq. Looking at Nasdaq, also as we had anticipated in the previous week, a retracement to the inner resistance, which is perfectly and exactly what happened before market fell a little bit, then given a confirmation that it will continue for the higher resistance. So what we're having now is another rising wedge, which is a decent indication a market should make a retracement. Could be something like that, not necessarily a sharp drop, which is probably not going to be the case. And we can look for a long entry right at that price range. So that's about Nasdaq. Let's go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still consolidating. Not much happened within it, so we still anticipate similarly. So Bitcoin might go to this support, get some liquidity from all these lows, and then attempt to break above this resistance. That's about Bitcoin. Let's go into Nifty 50. Surprisingly, Nifty 50 performed for multiple continuous months back to back during this year very positively. And I've highlighted that in many videos during the series of weekly market update. And suddenly, Nifty 50 decided to do nothing for multiple weeks back to back. So as we can see, also, it did move a little bit up and retraced back to this trend line. Been doing this for about 2-3 weeks. Not much is happening, but same analysis remain. We are anticipating a break above all-time highs. Well, maybe because there isn't liquidity. So there is that slight percentage might try to attempt taking this liquidity, because also we have an ascending channel here within this massive ascending triangle. And just because market goes down to take liquidity from those does not mean that the trend has turned bearish. So we might see an attempt to go below it, which is not really very likely. It's always because the psychology of who trades a certain asset is what determines how it basically operates. Yeah, it's traders who compel the prices. And speaking about Nifty 50, people are most of the time always more optimistic about it. So that's about Nifty 50. Even if it goes down a little bit below the trend line, considerably get a confirmation, and you would still want to look for a long position. That's about Nifty 50. Let's go into EURUSD. EURUSD is acting beautifully as analyzed and anticipated. From where we had highlighted, moved sharply to the expected price range, which hit TP perfectly, and then from there we found somewhat of a cup without a handle. So it can actually be taken as a bullish pennant too, for those who consider. And TP2, of course, would be your resistance aligning with the trend line, and that's exactly what happened. Now, from here, we can anticipate a further continuation for this bullish trend. However, EURUSD has done somewhat of a descending channel. So there is a slight possibility that we might see EURUSD going down to the support, which caused a strong movement, right, reacting with the trend line before it continues. So either ways, if you take a trade right now and it hits your top stop loss, market retraces to that zone, grab some liquidity, you would optimally also want to go for a long entry after you get a confirmation. That's about it for this week. Guys, as you can see, our analysis is pretty solid. So if you're not hitting that like or subscribe button, I don't know why you're not doing it. Support us a little bit as we're supporting you to make money every week. And that'll be it for this week. And Happy New Year to everybody. Peace out.
Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for next week and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.